This woodcutter accidentally saw through a hornet's nest while sewing. He was trying to avoid a hornet with a chainsaw. The boy thinks Tucker is a chainsaw murderer and frantically runs away. One of them runs, the other chases, and soon they are eye to eye. When the boy realized that Tucker wasn't chasing him, he crashed into a large branch and lost his breath. But all this was seen by the boy's companion, and so the unfortunate Tucker was nicknamed the murderer. The boy's companions decided to avenge the boy's death. Tucker finished healing the wound on his face and prepared to chop the wood. A young man pulled out a knife and rushed to avenge the death of his companion. As a result, he jumped into the wood chipper by accident. It was too late for Tucker to save the young man. Thinking the young man was mad and trying to commit suicide, he returned home, horrified. Tucker told Dale that there was a gang of lunatics outside, but Dale already knew. It turns out that Dale was digging a hole when he saw a man with a stick coming towards him. By the time Dale reacted, the man had rushed into the hole and finished himself off. To avoid trouble, they left the house to dispose of the bodies. They thought they'd bury the body and get away with it, but they didn't realize that the police were already there because the other kids had already called the police. When they saw the police arrive, they said someone was going to commit suicide, but the police were clever enough to say they were going to search the house. When the police entered the house, there was an accident. The policeman accidentally touched the mechanism. The two men tried to stop the policeman, but it was too late. The policeman was knocked unconscious. The two men were mistaken for murderers by the young men in the car. The young men in the car screamed, fearing that the two murderers would kill them. But what just happened was an accident. Everyone was so scared they didn't know what to do. Tucker grabbed his gun and pointed it at the two men, but couldn't pull the trigger. After Dale reminded Tucker of the gun's safety, the gun went off. Several people witnessed this scene and panicked even more in the car. Chad, who had been hiding in the shadows, grabbed the gun from the ground and started shooting at the brothers. The brothers had to take refuge in their bedroom to avoid the bullets, but it wasn't long before no sound came from outside. It turned out that Chad had turned his gun on their dog. They realized that if they didn't get out of the house, the men would mistreat the dog. Dale picks up the nail gun and fires towards the door. Tucker slipped out the back door to save the dog, not realizing that the group had seen him. He did his best to escape, but Chad caught up with him. Tucker was hung from a rope and his fingers were cut off. Dale realizes that Tucker has disappeared and sets off into the forest to find him. Fortunately, Dale was able to find Tucker and save him. Just then, the gang sneak into the brothers' room. Chad thinks the brothers are killers and asks Allison to get out of there. Allison replies that they are good people and it's all a misunderstanding. Chad realizes that Allison is suffering from Stockholm Syndrome and tries to force her to leave with him, but the brothers have just returned and seen Chad. Jason thinks his partner is in danger, grabs the lawnmower and rushes off with his girlfriend. Tucker quickly dodges. Jason killed his partner by mistake. Chad grabs an oil lamp and smashes it over the two men, but it sets his partner on fire. The blonde tried to put out the fire with water, but accidentally threw a bottle of petrol. The whole house went up in flames. The two men asked everyone to leave because of the flammable materials pressed. Fortunately, the two managed to escape the house with Allison and thought it was over. But Chad was still alive and in the form of a demon. The man had a tree root in front of him because he was distracted at the wheel. When Dale woke up, Allison was gone. Dale finds his brother sitting on the floor and asks him if he has seen Allison. However, Tucker is so weak that it tells Dale to get revenge on Chad, who is chasing them. Chad has something to do with Allison's disappearance. Tucker also hopes that Dale can save Allison and live happily with her for the rest of his life. Dale listens and quickly returns home with his dog. He grabbed his butcher's equipment and donned a pair of steel masks, ready to save Allison. Dale opened his bedroom door and saw that Allison was safe, then let his heart go and rushed to help Allison untie her. Just then, the chainsaw next to him suddenly started working automatically. Dale realized that if he couldn't untie the rope, Allison would be in danger, so he grabs the chainsaw and tries to cut the rope on the table. But Chad suddenly appears and kicks Dale. Dale approaches Chad and starts a duel. Seeing that the chainsaw was about to cut Allison, he grabs an axe and throws it. However, the axe managed to cut the rope and save Allison from the plank. Dale then grabbed the chainsaw from the floor and attacked Chad. Because of his small size, Chad was thrown out of the window. The power of love was so great that Dale was able to save Allison. Tucker was taken to hospital in time and his life was saved. Dale also won love and lived a happy life with Allison. This film tells us not to judge a book by its cover. Every Dale is potential.